Good afternoon, everyone. Once again, we are here in Port Charlotte with Westner and Ricardo. It is a pleasure to be with you guys again. This is something that we are starting in 2024, right? So that we know that if you keep doing the same things and expect a different result, it's not going to happen, and it's actually called insanity. So we come in here to share our knowledge, our expertise with you so that you can make 2024 a better year, right? Make 2024 your breakout year. So, Ricardo, parla avec nous, mon
Okay.
nouyo, parla avec mon
Good
nouyo.
evening. Nice to be with you again.
Parle créole, mais parle créole pour mon
Okay.
nouyo, oui.
Okay. Daniela parle parler pour nous en anglais. Et puis, m'a traduit pour nous parce que pile là nous-mêmes qui boy ici à moi connaît, spécialement pour Charlotte, elle est difficile pour nous comprendre. So moi-même m'a expliqué nous ce qui passé. Encore une fois, moi c'est un plaisir pour nous avec vous.
Okay, so we told you that we want to have this as a weekly program. So we're gonna come here every Wednesday. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys. So the first, we want to talk about the ladders of wealth building. Last week we talked about what financial literacy. In order for you to build wealth, you have to be in the know. You have to have knowledge, right? Wealth building is not gonna come just like that. It's not a magic pill. You have to be in the know. You have to be knowledgeable of, first of all, what is wealth management? What is wealth, the wealth ladder? And the first step in acquiring wealth or to increase your wealth is by acquiring financial literacy, right? And we talked about what financial literacy is. We talked about how, you need to know where you are, right? We talked about three things: what financial literacy is, get an analysis of your finances, and have emergency funds set aside. So today, we're going to talk about three other things that is going to build up on the wealth ladder.
Thank you. Miss Daniela, je crois que on peut expliquer mon système banking, tout peut-être, sous bien temps.
Oui.
Parce que je peux parler de financial literacy, on va parler de système banking pour nous connaître qui gère pour faire saving.
Yes. So today we're gonna talk about debt management, savings, and investing, right? So you may say, what is debt management, and why is that important in the wealth ladder? So wealth is correlated with debt, with assets, right? So be able to manage your debt, know what debt you have, is crucial to financial stability. You cannot have a strong financial stability if you don't know how to manage your debt, if you have too much debt, right? And debt, now we're not debating what type, most likely we're talking about the bad debts, the one that you are accruing high interest rate, the debts that are not giving you any return. There is no return on investment. The ones that we consider as liabilities, right? The ones that are high interest rate. And if you only paying your minimum amount due, you may never finish paying those debts. So those are the debt that we are talking about. They have high priority debt and low priority debt. So
OK, ça Miss Daniela fait nous connaître que low, high and low. High mean en haut et en bas. Pour façon que pour nous avoir stabilité dans l'économie, nous supposons connaître ça qui relève une façon que pour manager l'argent.
Manage debt, no.
Debt.
Ça ou doit mon. Est-ce que ou doit plus que ça va porter? Parce que c'est une raison qui fait un pile dans nous pas avancer en Amérique, en North America, especially les dettes non plus que assets non. right? So I had to help a little bit.
Yes, but by the way, about the banking system, so are we gonna talk,
So yes,
later?
yes, we're
Next
going
week?
to talk about, so of course, debt. You know, in order for you to understand your debt, you have to understand the banking system, right? So we put money in the banks, and we really don't know what they do with it, right? And of course, a lot of us, we live off of debt, whether it's good debt or bad debt. And we always encourage our clients to get debt that's giving them a return, right? It's not a bad debt like going to Louis Vuitton, get that $800, $1,500 bag, then you're paying 18, 24% interest. Yeah, it may look good on you, but what value do you really get from that type of debt? You know, debt is good, but be able to manage it so that you don't find yourself drowning. So we're talking about bad debt where you have to use the credit card in order to pay your bills, right? To pay your mortgage, to pay your car, and you're not able to pay that debt at the end of the month, right? If you have a credit card where you get points, yes, if we want to dive into that, you can use your credit card, but you know at the end of the month that you have a zero balance. But that's the best way to avoid high interest, because you know, if you're charging and you're not paying your balance in full, that debt is accruing interest. And although we're not going into compounded interest right now, but understanding how compounded interest work will really help you in managing your debt, because compounded interest is how the debt, right? How fast the debt can double based on the interest you are being charged. So if every day, every month you're only paying the minimum, guess what? That interest is compounding. So you need to be vigilant. You need to pay attention to that. What type of debt? Your interest rate. You need to be cognizant of your interest rate. So.
Ok, ça, Miss Daniella avait dit, c'est le système bancaire que nous supposons connaître. Si nous connaissons le système bancaire, nous sommes capables de connaître qui gens pour manage, qui gens pour investir l'argent. Parce que ça veut dire, pour comprendre le système bancaire là, c'est selon interest sur sur l'argent là, ou pas le connaître ça lié. Au fil du temps, là, bien avec plus d'informations pour nous, on a plus à apprendre.
Okay, so so let's dive in how you can manage your debt. Again, we talk about interest rate. So know what you are being charged. Sometimes I sit down with a client and they have debt, because we help clients with debt consolidation. And when you ask them what interest rate they are being charged, they don't know, right? Knowledge is the new currency. And better yet, applied knowledge, right? So you may have the knowledge and you don't apply it, then it becomes useless. So you need to know, if you have a card with Macy's, what is the interest rate, right? And of course, you know, interest rate is a direct correlation of your credit score. We're not going into that right now.
No.
So not now. So you need to know what interest rate you are being charged and how you can reduce that. Again, I know it. We are very impulsive, right? So we live in an impulsive world. So we want that dress. I love to shop too, right? But we have to be in the mindset, is it a need or is it a want, right? So that's the first thing. So when you are making a purchase, is it a necessity or is it just a want? Can you live without it? One thing I learned from Clark Howard is that when you are making a decision to purchase, whether it's a TV or a car may be a need, but you know, sometimes put it aside for a few months and see if you really need that. Do you really need that 75-inch? For I know football, right? Super Bowl is this month, or so I know a lot of guys gonna go out and get that 80-inch. Do you really need it? You still can watch the game on a 50-inch, right, Ricardo?
Well, if you know the banking system again, you can afford to buy 75 inches and then it will not hurt you. It will not hurt you. So buy it, mais faut qu'on à qui mesure que pour arriver. Quand les Haïtiens disent, mais il a jambe, mais il regarde. Cela veut dire que si vous n'avez pas afforder, pour que ça soit afforder, si toutefois vivre under the mean.
Exactly. So again, in order for you to manage your debt, right, prioritize your interest. So depends on who you're sitting with. We have a system. Some people say, hey, pay your smallest debt. You know, if you need to go into a debt management plan, if you are over your head and you cannot, you know, if you're drowning, if what you're bringing in, you know, cannot support your debt and you find yourself behind or collections, so you may need to go into a debt payment, debt management plan. So depends who you're working with. They may say pay your smallest balance first, but some, which is what which is known as the snowball effect, pay the smallest and then move up to the biggest. But some say, hey, pay the high interest. So again, you know, every client is different. So this paying smallest balance may work for you. In other cases, paying the highest interest. So again, we're just sharing information because some people just don't know. I am sure there are some people say, hey, I am drowning in debt. What are my options, right? What can I do? So I'm talking to those who need it, right? So again, we are not financial advisors, you know, we are financial professionals, and everything that we say, do your due diligence, research it, sit down with someone, right? Even if it's us, you need to call us, we'll sit down with you because no one client is the same. I may sit with a client, right? And we need to work on a debt management plan. We may say, okay, pay the smallest first or pay the highest interest first. So be prioritizing your high interest or whatever works for you. Small balances or high interest. So you have to sit down and see what's working for you.
Nous cachons avec n'importe qui, comme le dit, pour nous apprendre une série de bagages. Parce que si toutefois que nous pas fait ça, nous avons un petit problème à la fin. Ça nous ne dit pas là. Si par exemple, vous êtes avec un professionnel, vous avez le même problème, mais expense, moi, qu'on y a pas le faire, il pas le prendre note, ça l'a fait pour la combien qu'on doit, combien qu'on doit toucher, ok, et qui soit prêté. Et puis avec là, qu'on y a là, il va faire un budget pour, en créole, il va faire un budget pour capable sortir la dette là. Et nous avons toute possibilité, si toutefois en dette, nous avons d'autres. Je ne sais pas si nous te dit ça.
Oui, moi je dis ça.
Okay.
So nous capables de also.
You are speaking English, Adila.
Stop it. Stop. So, yeah. So si vous avez une dette, si à la fin du mois, ou gain plus, à la fin d'année, ou gain plus mois qu'on gain comme, so vous gain trop de dette, so vous supposez mettre un plan en place pour capable sortir dans dette. Pas vrai? So, ou gen bagay ko ka fait pour qu'on trouve li mieux que ou chercher un professionnel pour aider ou et qui ka fait plus rapidement, right? So create a detailed debt inventory. Again, you have to know what you have, what you are in. A lot of times we think by not addressing the issues they're going to go away. They're not. So they need to be addressed. So you need to take an inventory of your debt, right? And then if you try to do it by yourself, inventory, paying smallest debt or paying highest interest, it's not working. Sometimes you may have to consolidate again. Do your research and find someone trustworthy that can help you, right? It is debatable, consolidation or repayment plan. So again, what is best for your situation, right? So some red flags if you're doing consolidation. So if you have a lot of debt and you want to buy a house within 2 or 3 years, so it may affect because it's going to affect your credit rating. You may not be able to qualify for that loan. If you need a new car, you may not qualify for it. Even with prime lending, right, or subprime. So you may not be able to get anything. So you need to be really, when going to debt consolidation, you really need to see, okay, this is the last resort. Try to pay your debt, right? Work with your creditors. A lot of times, people have a high interest rate, and they don't think that they can,
Manage.
call. And you can always call them. What's the worst they're gonna say? No. Say, hey, I have this high interest rate. What is the best interest rate? And always let them know that you are shopping around, because they do not want to lose your business. So call, hey, I have 24% with you. Can you reduce it to 20? Can you reduce it to 18? Right? So work with your creditors. Don't let it go to collections, because it's gonna get worse, right? Or don't default on it. So it's really going to affect you. So tell them, Timonu, about debt consolidation.
I thought you were going to do it in Creole.
Oh, well.
Well, ok, sa ki pase entre nou men, nou men ki pa anglophone, le nou vin isi, nou gen intensyon, travay, et puis nou oubliye tout bagay, et puis nou refuze pou konsel an men moun. Si toutefois pa konen, le pa ekze pou moun di ou ignoran nan bagay, se pa ke moun nou dise sot ou sot non, ou ignore bagay la. Lo pa konen li ka work against you. Ça veut dire qu'il ka aller contre vous-même. C'est sans ça que nous venons là, nous avons des informations, nous ensuite vous prenez plume avec papier ou écrit. Et puis ça pas empêche tout pour les noms pour dire nous que listen, est-ce que il y a tel problème est-ce qu'on peut aider nous? Parce que le plus souvent, par exemple, n'a pas nos informations, surtout dans la communauté pas nous, ça it's a fraud. C'est pas vrai, c'est menti, c'est pas vrai. Si par exemple nous entrons dans un enseignement avec open mind, comme l'Américain dit, nous pouvons comprendre plus facile que par exemple nous peut être avec un esprit négatif.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So, mettons-nous en place pour prendre information dans le monde. Parce que, en pile fois, on ne pas connaître qui sont pas connaître. So, c'est là où elle chita avec le monde. Bah, pour qu'elle, ouais, sous une situation côté que, ouais, effondré, ou noyé en bas de dette. So, again, ouais, l'heure pour chita avec le monde qui a monté option ou capable de consolider dette ou pour capable de réduire charge et pour capable ou un petit genre clair quand il s'agit de finance. Okay? So again, we talked on negotiating. Again, a lot of people don't think that they can just call the creditor. Let's reduce it. Ask him, if you have any late fees. A lot of times you call them, they always say one time, but every time you call, there's always a one time. So that late fee, that hit, call them, work with them, right? And I even learned that even if they reported it and you do get, the points reduction, your credit score, sometimes depends on who the creditor is. You can even ask them, if you bring the account up to current, they may remove that negative mark. So always be in constant communication with your creditors and talk to them. Don't neglect them. Don't just avoid when they call. We hate debt collectors, right? But sometimes it is in your best interest to answer and work with them, right? And of course, while you are in that debt management plan, avoid taking new ones, right? So you may want to freeze that card until you pay it down. Don't cut it, don't close it, right? You put it aside because you may need it. Because if you've already built a history, like if you have a credit card, you build a history, you need that history. So if you pay it off, don't close it, right? Just pay the annual fee because you will need, if you close that account, you're gonna lose that history and your credit score is greatly affected by your history, right? So don't get new debts while you are managing what you have. Do not get new debt at all costs. If it's at all possible, don't. So in order to get out of it, because you're in a situation, you need to get out of it. So you cannot be getting new debt while you're trying to get out of your current situation.
Ça nous voulons faire connaître. La peine nous une qui est def collector. Mon contact passe en pile là nous, le nous recevons papier, nous prenons nous plier, nous voyons la gabiche. One thing to do. Always answer them. Toujours répondre que listen, moi, si pas moi pour payer, pas ignorer long papier vient la caille. Dis comme ça qu'on doit temps. Relais.
Yes. So really travailler avec mon yo.
Ou sinon relais vient là nous-mêmes.
Oui. Ou n'a pas de ou. Non, sou pas parler, sou pas kon ki terme pour utiliser parce que yon mot gen doit dire mon nan, gen doit faire mon nan et entrer en faveur avec ou. So parce que langage, toute field, toute industrie gen langage pa yo. C'est pas industrie ou gen rakon langage. So relais un professionnel kouè nou et puis na pede ou nan sens sa. Okay? Hey, you need to create a budget, a realistic one. And last week we did talk on budget, is analyzing your expenses, your income. A lot of us, I think we are scared or really see our current situation, but if you don't know where you are currently at, it's going to be really hard for you to get out of it. Be realistic with yourself, right? So, because the first step into healing is acknowledging that you have a problem. If you have a financial problem, be true to yourself. Create a budget, right? One thing that is advisable, when you are doing this budget, we love to eat out. Some of us don't know how to cook. You know how to cook, Ricardo?
No, listen.
Oh, that's why you're married. That's why you're married, right?
It's just that my wife is responsible, doesn't want me to come to the kitchen.
Oh, Lord.
And
so
I'm
you
not,
got that?
I am a spoiled guy from my grandmother.
Oh, wow.
You know the young boy from Haiti?
Yeah.
Spoiled by the grandmother, and then I'm one of them. My wife will not eat my cooking. And he will die too, because I don't know how to cook, but I know how to clean.
Oh, cool.
I know
Okay,
how to
that's
wash
a good
dishes.
trade-off. That's a good trade-off. Yeah,
I know how to iron.
Okay.
Okay,
Oh,
so-
yeah, I don't like to iron. So that's a good trade-off.
Oh, then
okay.
you and my wife, you
I don't like to iron.
you Libra?
No, I'm Aquarius.
Okay, but my
Oh,
wife
really?
doesn't like to iron, no.
Oh, I don't know. Now, okay, so now Libras don't like to iron.
No.
I'm an Aquarius. I don't like to iron. I love to cook, right? So I cook. Yeah, so you can come and wash the dishes and clean anytime. Yeah, that's a good trade-off.
I can do that. But
So some of us, we don't cook, whether we don't know how to cook or we just don't like cooking. When looking at budgets, expenses, eating out cost a lot of money. Cost a lot of money. Hey, if you don't know how to cook, if you have to eat out, have a budget, realistic budget, right? If it's 200, or if you can, if you used to eat 5 times out, maybe 3 times, right? We know in Florida we have Publix. I love Publix. They have so many options. You can get you a bag of salad, some tuna. When you need to get out of that situation, you have to cut down, right? And sometimes you have to cut down to the canned soups, right? So avoid eating out. And some of us, if you go in my pantry, I'm embarrassed to say, some people, when they come into my house, they think I have 10 people living in my house because my pantry is always full. That is not necessarily a good thing. So when you are doing a debt management plan, right? So you need to eat what you have first before you go. And any good financial advisor, financial planner will tell you that. Hey, what do you have in your house? Eat what you have in your house first. Listen, I have a deep freezer and I have a farmer friend who kills goat and pig. So he had a killing and he brought me some meat. Guess what? I have meat in my freezer probably over a year ago.
Andrea Bakemja will kill you.
No.
I'm going to tell her what
Don't
to
tell
do.
her. No. So we are in this challenge that we're not eating meat. Yeah, I didn't say I was eating meat. I just say I have a freezer that have meat. So a lot of times we keep buying, but eat what you have in your house first. Have a budget for your food. We're not saying, don't eat out at all, right? Budget it. Everything, budget it. Your gas, budget it, right? If you need to get your hair did, right? If you need to get your nail did, just budget everything, right? And if the money's not there, if you have to skip a month from not doing your hair or your nails, it is what it is. So we cannot keep doing the same thing and expect different results. Again, that's insanity.
Well said. Well, as she said, budget yourself, budgeting yourself, parce que ça fait ça, si toutefois pas faire ça, on va toujours en rôle, on va tout pas jamais qu'à sortir en dette. Tout ça, l'idée là, c'est vérité. Si toutefois qu'on pas qu'à faire pour aller dans le restaurant pour aller dépenser, il n'y a pas de parler dans le restaurant, il n'y a pas de pas supposé aller dans le restaurant, non. Mais l'idée comme ça que si toutefois qu'on pas qu'à faire, ou pas aller. Mais si toutefois qu'à faire dans le restaurant, ou qu'à aller. Mais nous-mêmes, en tant qu'advisor, nous toujours disons comme ça que nous avons de minimum, ça qu'on a fait. Mais ça pour faire, pour ne pas dépenser comme vous, si toutefois qu'on a envie d'acheter un cahier, ou envie d'acheter une machine, ou envie de mettre un bagage sur petit, ou envie de faire un budget pour un autre bagage qui est plus grandiose que le restaurant. Mais si toutefois qu'on n'est pas faute,
Hey,
not me trois fois.
Yeah. So gen surplus, si ou pas drowning, so ou fait un budget, si ou même manger, but si ou nan dette, ou besoin sortir nan dette, ou obligé à altérer behavior. Ouais. So te kon al nan restaurant 4 fois par semaine, obligé réduire. Apprendre faire manger, YouTube, go to YouTube University, learn how to cook, right? Go to YouTube University, learn how to cook. It is so much cheaper to cook yourself, and it's healthier too. You control your salt, you control your seasoning, you know what you're eating, when you are cooking, right? So that's all about management too. You are managing your finance, but you're also able to manage your health, because when you cook, you know where it came from to some extent, right? And you know what you're eating, right? So the next item that we want to look at, again, emergency funds, right? So as you are getting out of debt, by managing your debt, by going into that, repayment plan, have emergency fund that you're not reaching for that credit card, that you're not going for that payday loan that they charge you 300% interest. So again, is know what you have, know where you want to go, set a date. It may take you a year, depends how much debt you have. It may take you 2, it may take you 3 years, right? And when looking at different debt management plan or debt consolidation program, on an average, they say it takes 3 to 4 years, right, to get out of that situation. So while you're doing that, try to put a little bit of money aside, which we'll talk about, into savings, because we don't know how to do that, right? So emergency fund, you need to have that so that you're not reaching for that credit card.
Yep. Well said.
Because most of the debts that we have, credit card debts, right? And I want to encourage you guys, anybody who has Netflix, there is on Netflix, there is a series called Explained, and go into money, right? Go into credit card, because I do not want to say who created credit card and for whom it was created. You'll be surprised to see how it was created, right? So I give you a hint. Credit card was created for those of us who do not know how to save, right? So they give you a way out, but at the same time, putting their foot, right, on your neck when you can't pay it, right? And unfortunately, those who are in the lower income brackets are the ones with the highest debts because we don't know how to manage, we don't know how to save. So therefore, we have to reach out to the credit cards and become prisoners of those lenders, right? When you are a borrower, you become the slave to your lender, and debt has enslaved us in so many ways.
True.
So you go into Netflix, find a series called Explained, and go down on money. It will give you a slew of information, probably give you more than you really need. So I encourage our viewers to do that. So tell your...
Ok, pour préciser, au fin côté moi, dit nous besoin de $20. Je dis ok, vous besoin de $20. Mais chaque semaine, on va $5. Après 4 semaines, combien vous payez? $40 parce que ça fait ça, vous payez $20 même sur votre money avec intérêt qui $5 chaque semaine. Sauf que nous faisons très attention, par exemple, nous avons expliqué nos bagages pour nous comprendre ça, mon ami. Yo pas dit pas qu'à faire, nous capables de crédit carte, mais gain mon acheter encore sur crédit carte là, yo quand même fin payer même et puis acheter encore. Cela veut dire qu'on dette intérêt elle est fini qu'on va payer. Parce que chaque qu'on achète pour mettre sous son gain pour voir, c'est plus dette pour mettre tête.
Yep, absolutely. So, America built on debt, but what type of debt? You know, do you want to contribute to the debt America already has? So that's another story. So, again, seek help. You know, if you try to do it on your own and you can't, there are for-profit and not-for-profit agencies that offer debt counseling. Again, when you're working with someone, maybe you can ask for referrals, right? Do your research, you know, go into Better Business Bureau, what kind of rating, you know, what other people are saying about those agencies that are helping. Again, there are agencies that are not for profit, and you know, when they are not for profit, their rates are much lower. Actually, their rates is dictated by your state laws, state regulation, whereas if they are for profit, they're going to charge you whatever they desire. So do your due diligence if you do need to seek help in consolidating your debt, because sometimes that's what you may need to do, because debt consolidation or debt management repayment plan may help reducing, you know, your overall payments on a monthly basis. Of course, there's a cost, whether it affects your credit, right? You cannot buy that new house, you know, or that new car, even if you need a new car. So seek help. And of course, when you do reach, you know, you're gonna set milestones with whoever you're working with. Yes, celebrate, right? Pat yourself on the back. You know, if you had set to pay down $10,000 in a year, if you pay $10,000 within a year, that's an achievement. Celebrate that. So, and you deserve that, because I am sure you made a lot of sacrifices, right, to pay that debt, to achieve that goal. So you deserve it. Pat yourself on the back. Go out, have an ice cream cone, okay? Don't go too deep into that, you know, by celebrating, but do something that makes you feel good, because you actually achieved something and you deserve that ice cream cone.
On fait une révision sur last week, ça nous t'a parlé. Nous pensons que money pas everything, but you need money to do a lot of things. Next to oxygen is money.
Yes.
Therefore, in order for you to have money, what you have to do, you have to work and save, not to spend everything that you have.
So we move right into saving. So most of us, the way we see saving, right? We work, we pay the bills, and whatever else is left, and you know, we put that and say that's saving. But no, those who study millionaires, or those who study the top 5%ers, right? Because you know, those are the ones that are wealthy, that are established financially. guess what? They live by one rule. They pay themselves first. Did you know that? They pay themselves first, but us, right? We work, we don't even have the option. Those of us, W-2s, you don't even have the option to say how much taxes you pay. To some of you may control it based on your dependent, but overall, you cannot tell Uncle Sam that, not to take his portion. I've yet to meet that uncle. I don't know if I'll ever meet him. So Uncle Sam's gonna take its portion, right? So pay yourself first, whether it's $10, $20. Consistency is key. But most people, just like you owe, we're not going into religion or biblical, but for those of us who do believe in tithing, right, it is 10%. We give back to God 10%. Guess what? You need to pay yourself 10%. And we know that is one of the key of building, right, wealth. So manage your debt, but don't pay everybody first and then whatever is left, if anything is left, right? So you need to save, because you're working, you need to have a vacation plan, you need to have an emergency plan, you need to buy that house. So saving, right, and again, it's going to work hand in hand with your debt management. You need to pay yourself first. If you cannot pay yourself 10%, if it's $50, if it's $100, so whatever it is, just do it regardless of what is going on.
La charité bien ordonnée commence par soi.
Par soi-même,
Cela
oui.
veut dire que par exemple, tout le monde qui est là, il a payé peut-être first, après au pays, ça peut payer. Dans ce sens où même, c'est toutefois que vous avez l'argent pour ne pas payer peut-être first, pour connaître ça pour voir, tout a passé dans the train, tout a tombé la capitule.
Yep. So, vous devez payer tatou avant, so c'est ça fait qu'on oblige fond budget ou supposé gérer dette tout. Parce que si vous avez un paquet de dette, pas vrai, si ça va faire en plus, si ça va rentrer en plus que ça cap et les moins que ça cap sortir, ou pas de problème, c'est ça fait ou doit chita OK. On fait $4,000 par mois. Moi j'ai dépensé 5,000, so gain goma qui pas marcher. Pas vrai, so ou ka considérer un bon part-time job. Et une barre que me connais en pile monde fait et Uber ou bien Lyft en pile monde et c'est dépend côté yo ka fait bon petit comme ça sous bon paquet de dette fait un bagay, right? So I was just saying that to my Creole speaking, if your expenses are more than your income, then you need to look at other avenues of bringing money in. Short term, you may do Lyft. I know a lot of people do Lyft and Uber. I have a friend in Fort Lauderdale. He tells me like he be making $1,000 just doing few hours at night. He's an accountant, right? He has a bill with Macy's. He says he wants to pay his Macy's bill. Just a few hours. I said, I know people in Orlando are now making that kind of money. So depends on your location. But even if you go out and do $200, $300 a week, that can go towards your bill, right? Towards your debt. Get a part-time job. Get a side business, right? I'm always looking for people who are looking to improve, right? And who wants to learn about the financial industry. I'm always hiring, right? I'm always looking for business partners. So reach out to me on Facebook, right? I am Daniella Noel on Facebook. I am Daniella Noel on Instagram. So reach out if you want to learn more how to tap into the financial literacy space, because we are always looking. Because actually, we have a vision to help over 200 million families. We don't have enough professionals to help. So we are looking, if you love to work with people, if you are looking a way to help your community understand finances, understand money, reach out to us. So we are always looking to partner with others who are looking to empower our community. And by default, you're going to be making money, okay? So to go towards your debt. So side hustle, a business, Uber, Lyft can help you pay down your debt. You know, even get your part-time job. A lot of times we don't want to do it, but you have to get out of your comfort zone. I know we love going home and watch TV, but instead of going home, watch TV, find something to do that's bringing in some income and pay down your debt.
Entrepreneur, c'est ça America built on. So, pas ou gen wap travay 9 to 5, fè un petit bagay sou kote, ou ka rentre l'argent. So, pas fè ça, wap toujours live on pay to paycheck on a weekly basis. That's it.
Yeah. I mentioned it last week. 85% of people living in America are one paycheck from being bankrupt, from being homeless. Reason being, you know, look at inflation. You know, our paychecks are not keeping up with inflation. So we have to find other ways, right, to increase our income, whether it's changing jobs. I know my Haitian people, once they are stuck in a job, you don't dare tell them that they need to switch. Even if you tell them, hey, by switching jobs, that you can increase your income by 20-30%. What is it with our people? They get comfortable. Is it comfortable, or they don't like changes?
You know what happened? It's just like we adapt ourselves forever to one thing. We don't do another thing. The same thing that when you're talking to them about business, they tell you, hey, listen, hey, I'm not interested. Et puis, chambre l'autre, on peut dire, ah, monsieur t'a parlé avec moi, il te dit, mettez le bagage, mon cher, qui sont comprendre de lui-même? Ça, il sorti là nous-mêmes, ça, c'est vraiment, il y a un problème, ça.
Yeah. So, my Caribbean, maybe it's all Caribbean, I don't know. My Caribbean people, they don't like to switch jobs.
No.
And statistics shows when you switch job every 3 to 5 years, your income increase because you're bringing expertise to a different company. And let's be real, there is no loyalty anymore. There's no job security.
You said royalty?
Yeah, there is no.
At church, I was working in a nursing home for 26 years, okay? If no person bought the nursing home, they were about to fire everybody that were over there for 15 to 20 years. So, you talk about royalty?
Yeah, there is no loyalty.
When they want to fire you, they don't care about if your kids are going to college, if you got a mortgage, if you got anything. Listen, that's why if you can get 12 t-shirts, you sell it on the side. While you're working a job 9 to 5, that 12 t-shirt that you sell, that money is yours. Nobody else.
Et travail yo pas kon problème. C'est bottom line yo connaît. So, si par exemple, ou chita ou rete là 5 ans, 10 ans, 15 ans dans même travail là, ou a perdu un pile corps, ou gan pile corps qui va rentrer dans main parce que l'heure ou quitter travail ou aller dans l'autre, ou toujours gagner un increase dans paycheck ou so. Gardez pour eux. Allez essayer faire interview avec l'autre côté pour eux. Parce que moi me dis et en pile mon yo te mérite no job because of pension.
They don't have that.
So a lot of people, you know, used to stay in a job 10, 15, 20 years because of pension. Yeah, but pension is something of old. Most companies, I would say probably 95% of companies out there don't give pension, don't give retirement plan, right? We have what is called contribution, which we will come into that when we talk about retirement. But please, I encourage you, assess your current job and look what the market is paying, because a lot of us, we're comfortable. We don't like change, but change is good. So have a change of scenery, you know, a change of pace in your job, because the market dictates what you should get paid. But if you've been in the job for 15, 20 years, guess what? I can guarantee you, you're not getting your worth. You're not getting paid what you're really worth. So I encourage you to take assessment of that. And that's one way to increase your income. Switch jobs, especially if there's no pension, if there's no retirement plan. You know, if you have a 401k, you can roll that over. You can take that with you. You're not gonna lose anything. So I think that wraps up saving. So pay yourself first. Do it consistently, even if you have to start with $10. Once you get in the habit, right? And as you free up your debt and as your income increase, you will increase your savings.
By the way, I stayed in that job just for my retirement plan.
What happened with your retirement, Ricardo? Did you get it? I hope you got it.
Of course, I got it, and then that's why I stayed in that job for that long. But now they don't give retirement plan anymore in the job.
Okay, so that's good. So you had it. So good for you. Okay, good. So hey, Ricardo was blessed enough to have a retirement plan from his company. Well, we know that retirement plans are something of old. So so un petit peu pour en créole.
Moi, réellement, c'est un plaisir pour nous, moi avec Daniella, pour nous servir. À n'importe quel moment où tu as besoin, nous, on doit aller, nous. Numéro PAM, c'est 347 866 3654.
I guess I have to give my number, right? We can't just give his people
It's my business number anyway.
Oh, that's your business number. Okay, yes. Find me on Facebook and Instagram. So the third thing we want to talk, right? So we talk about debt management, savings, and of course, when you are over the hump, right, that you managing your debt, you have that saving. Again, it's saving. It's not a growing, right? You're not growing your money. It's just saving. Because the average interest you're getting in a savings account, what is it? 0.1%, 1%, maybe 2%, maybe some online. Banking may give you 3%, and that's very. So you'll need a way to increase, right? So once you get over your debt management, you want to manage your debt, and you have the surplus, and you are saving. So you'll need to look into ways of investing, right? Again, top 1% up to top 5% of those who are millionaires, they don't do it by just saving. No, you will not get rich by saving your money. So you need to find ways to invest your money.
Pour préciser, non pas dire comme ça que le nom du saving, c'est pas travail à la banque mettre l'argent pour avoir 0.99 ou 0.59% on it. Saving, c'est investment vous supposez faire. C'est voilà la banque, si vous avez comme la banque, vous mettez la banque, vous avez quitter encore pour si toutefois cas vous besoin de ranger, vous besoin de ranger machine. Mais là, on parle de saving, c'est investment. Comment pour investir sans pour autant que pour pas aucun problème. Correct?
Yes. So l'offre ou gérer dette ou save et nous dire même si vous gérer même si sont $5 parce que vous besoin créer et habitude. Même si c'est $5, vous mettez chaque semaine $10 et là vous venez sortir dans dette qu'on y a là ou un surplus capable increase saving. Pas vrai qu'on y a l'offre ou gain un surplus ou gain saving qu'on y a là ou chercher une façon pour capable investir parce que d'après études qui fait si c'est juste serrer quoi ou pas réellement que ça nous relève American freedom now. Okay, so if you want to be free, you have to learn how to invest. You have to know how to grow your money, right? Money is a currency, so it's not supposed to stay in your saving. It needs to be working for you. Again, we know those who acquire wealth, who become wealthy, know the rules of money. They know how to make money work for them. Do you know how to make your money work for you? Again, it is a currency. It needs to be moving, right? The current, right? So it cannot stay in one place. And saving is just keep it safe in the bank, right? It's not growing. It's not a growing account or growing plan. It's a savings plan. So there are different ways that you can invest, right? Depends on your age, of course. Some people think okay, I'm 50, I'm 60, I'm gonna start investing. No, you need to be diligent. You need to know what you're getting into. Again, always seek the advice of a professional, right? So some people invest in stocks. Again, we know stocks, right, are affected by things, people, right? What's going on across the pond, who's saying what, right? So, did you invest in Dogecoin?
No, I don't.
Okay, so
I know how to save my money.
yeah. Oh,
I
you
know
know how to
preserve. No,
you need
preserve my
you
money.
preserve.
My money. I know
Okay,
to
you
preserve
preserve your money. Yeah, we are in wealth preservation industry, right? We show people how to preserve. So he's not a gambler. He doesn't like to gamble his money. Some people do stocks. Some people do okay, but when we look at overall, are they really doing okay? Some people say they do okay with stocks. I have some with Fidelity. It's like I scratch my head every time I look at it because it's not doing well.
But there is a way that I would suggest people to do it. Let's say that I got $10,000. I'm gonna put $8,000 on a safe keeping account, and I'm gonna gamble with 2,000. So therefore, whatever happened, I'm not gonna lose my whole $10,000. And I think that is the best way to explain it to you.
Yeah.
You can gamble, but don't go, too much on your account. Listen, not even 50-50.
Not even.
No.
So,
No, not even 50.
so it's a matter of diversification, right? So having a diversified portfolio is key. When you are at that point where, you can invest, you may have some in stocks, bonds, right? It's issued by the government. And so some have mutual funds, real estate. A lot of people, they are banking on, real estate. So when it's a great investment, right? Yeah, it's a great way to build wealth and pass on generational legacy, right? Having a balanced portfolio. Don't put all of your eggs in one basket. Otherwise, you're gonna have one big scrambled eggs. One big omelet, right? So you don't want that. Cannot put all of your eggs in one basket. Have it diversified. Again, based on your situation, your age, your income, it will dictate how diversified, where to put what, right? Real estate, crypto. I did put some money in crypto. My advice to everybody, do not put any money that you can't afford to lose, right? A lot of us know about Novatech. I'm sorry. I tell everybody, if you're putting $1,000, know that if you lose that 1,000, you're not gonna cry. Don't come to me and tell me, okay, I made you lose your money. No, don't put any more money that, don't put your rent money, don't put your car money into crypto because there is no guarantee, right? It is a chance, it is gambling. You are literally gambling your money. I did foreign exchange. That was gambling because, unless very few, only the top 1% of those in foreign exchange really learned about the market, learned, the ins and outs, when to go in, when to get out. It's like, I got attached to my trades, yes, and I lost a lot of money in foreign exchange, right? So a lot of times people are coming, oh, I can make you. No, I do not want to touch foreign exchange with a 10-foot pole. Do not come and tell me you can make me money. I don't care, right? So, but those who still say they're making money,
more power to them.
More power to them. So again, having a balance, portfolio. Know your risk versus, your return. Some of us, we only think that we're gonna gain, but no. Again, the market, a lot of those things are in the market. and they are dictated by people, things, right?
You said something about age. You've been saying age, but I want to elaborate on age.
Is it
At
because
my
you
age,
age?
no,
Is
no,
it
at
because
my
you are
age, no, no, no,
Am
at
I
my,
offending
no,
you,
no,
Ricardo?
no, at my age, I don't want to gamble my money. That's what I'm saying. If you 18, 20, you lose 10,000, it's not going to affect you because another 10 more years, you will be probably 38. You still can work and make money. But when you reach 50 and 60 or 70, you don't gamble your money. I don't gamble my money.
And that's a good point. I'm glad you brought that up. So, with clients, when we sit down, yes, age is it's a big factor in wealth building because someone who is 20, right, versus someone who's 45 and 50, you don't have much time to catch up. Guess what? I met a gentleman who bought a condo prior to 2008, and we know what happened in 2008. Guess what? So I figured, yeah, his value has come up. He said, no, his value has not come up since 2008. So when we talk about age, so the way a 20-year-old can go into the market, that's not the way at 45, a 50-year-old should look at the market, because when you are 45, if you want to retire at the government stated age 62 or 65, you don't have much time to catch up. 20, 30, you have a little bit of room to catch up. So when we sit down with someone who is near retirement, we teach you now how not to gamble your money. We really want to show you, we really want to put you in the mindset of preserving what you have. Again, COVID, like 2008, again, it's statistic. You can go online and look. The average American lost about 35 or 40% of their 401k in 2008. Some of them have not recouped. So if you are 45 and another 2008 happens, can you afford that? If everything you have is in the market. So yes, when you reach a certain age, you shouldn't be out in the open and leave everything to the market. So that's why I keep saying age. When you reach 45, 50, you need to be focusing on preserving your assets, not gambling. So does that make sense? I didn't mean to offend you, Ricardo.
I'm 18 and a half, so you're not going to
Okay, good. I didn't mean to offend you.
I'm 18 and a half, so I'm still young.
Yes, so that's why. So people think, okay, hey, I have my 401k, I have my stocks. What guarantees do you have? Because when you reach that age, you need to be in a mindset, okay, I need certain money, I need certain guarantees for the next 10, 15 years, right? So being in the market, if everything you have is in the market, right? And when we look at those accounts, IRAs, 401k, right? Those are invariable accounts. So they're like roller coasters, right? They may go down, but there is no saying when and if they're gonna go back up, right?
Even though they go back, they don't
But
go
you
back
never
at the peak.
Yes.
There's sometimes
Exactly. Yeah, you can say, oh yeah, I know bear market, bull market, I watch the market. So we really want people to have a diversified portfolio, be in the mindset of preserving your assets and not gambling your assets, because time horizon, right, is the length of time an investor plans to hold an investment and expecting, right, a specific return. Some people can be aggressive if you are young, but if you are nearing retirement age, you have to be conservative.
Yeah.
Right? You have to be moderate and conservative. So time is crucial. So if you are 20, 30, you're not playing the market, go right. You know, you have another maybe 15, 20 years to catch up. But if you are 40, 45, 50, you need to be cautious where your assets are at. Is everything, but and sometimes people say, oh yeah, I am diversified. So they are in 401k, they are in, you know, IRAs,
403B.
mutual funds, 403B, you know, TSPs. Those are under the same category. They are all variable accounts. You have no guarantee on them, and you do not control them. You know, and I think last week we mentioned the American dream is leverage and control. Okay, what do you control right now? Are you able to control your income? Are you able to control your investments? So again, the American dream is leverage and control, because guess what? Those who are in control, they make rules to govern over those who are not in control. And of course, they leverage our time, our money to build wealth. So it is time that we learn how to leverage other people's time, other people's money, right, to build the wealth. If you are the only one working, if you only have one job, if you are a W-2 employee, you are paying too much taxes, right? So find ways to reduce your tax liabilities, because we often get upset at those who, you know, pay very little taxes. It's because they know the game, right? We don't know the game of money. Learn about the game of life, the game of money, then you will win, and you will know how to reduce your tax liabilities.
By the way, if you have a 25 years old daughter or a son, tell them to call us. We'll tell them how to leverage their money, to preserve their money, and then to invest. When they reach 45, 50, they will not have to be worried about the next paycheck.
Okay, so you heard Ricardo. So, hey, and a lot of times, you know, we as parents or the elders, you know, we get the information and we don't pass it on, right? Financial literacy and legacy building is not only when you have tangible knowledge-based property, intellectual property, right? Knowledge is intellectual property. You can pass that on to your kids, you know, teach them, right? Teach the next generation how to deal with money, learn about money, because hey, yes, we saying money. A lot of people say money is not everything, but guess what? It's right next to oxygen. So yeah, we need money, and money makes the world go round. So we need money. We need to know how to work, how to make our money work for us instead of working for our money, right? So when it comes to investing, what kind of interest are you getting? Are you getting compounded interest, or are you getting simple interest? So it is important to know what is the return on your money. You know about market analysis. Again, know what you're getting into. What is the expected return? Monitor your investments, right? And cost and fees. A lot of times we hire other people to manage our money, but we never know how much they're charging us. So be in the know about what the costs are, because that can really eat up into your money. So we are coming to an end for today. Today is our second week. We talked about debt management, you know, how you need to get a handle on your expenses, on your debt. If you are drowning, find a way to get out of it. If you are looking to live a better life in 2024, if you want to make 2024 your breakout year, You cannot do the same things and expect a different result. So you have to change your behavior. You have to do things differently. And if that means seeking out the help of, the counsel of someone, debt management, debt counseling, again, there are agencies that are out there to help you. There are individuals who are licensed like ourselves. We are licensed to help individuals, and we can help in all 50 states, including Canada and Puerto Rico. So you have no excuse. Wherever you're at, right, in North America, you can reach out to us. Savings, learn to pay yourself first. If you're in a position that you cannot do the 10%, if it's $20, $30, doing it consistently, get in the habit, right? We know that when you have a lot of things that dictate our lifestyle or our destination is habits. So get into a habit of doing a good thing, not only bad things. Bad habits are not always bad. Good habits. Develop good habits with your money. Have a budget plan. Have a plan to get out of debt, right? And once you get out of debt, you're saving, then you can go into investing. So I really hope that, I think I delivered a lot of value. So I really hope that you guys were taking notes. So I encourage you every week when we come, expect for us to give you some gems. So I'm sure a lot of gems were dropped. I hope you caught some of them, right? Because some things cannot be taught. You have to catch it, right? So I hope you caught 1 or 2 gems. So keep a notebook, because if you have questions, you can comment, you can reach out to us. But if we're just talking and you don't take any notes, then it's really hard for you to really capture the information. So get you a notebook just for those information, be able to review it and compare where you at. So any last word, Ricardo?
Non, moi, remercie tout le monde qui t'a suivi nous et que nous avons l'impression que nous prenons note, comme Daniella a dit, et que nous voyons next week.
So, again, review your note. Thank you for those who are live with us. We appreciate your time, and we're looking forward to bring you some more. Please follow us, share this with someone who do not know that we are in existence. So share this, like it, subscribe. That's how you are helping us be able to share the information with some more people, because this is much needed in our community. So again, we have nothing to sell you, but everything to share with you. So we come every week to share information with you, but it's up to you to apply it, because knowledge, if you don't apply it, then it becomes null. So thank you. See you next week.
Thank you. See you next